Hello friends, my name is Sonu Singh and I welcome you all to this first video lecture series which will help you to boost your communication. So it happens that we get an opportunity to talk to the audience or to present ourselves at the various platform. Like if you are an employee, then you will have the opportunity to interact with the potential customer, and we have the pressure to turn this potential customer into the regular client of the organization. But most of us feel scared about it. But I want to tell you one thing, that most of us feel scared about getting the sales job. But if you want to grow in your life, if you want to achieve the success very soon, then it is very important to work as a salesman, because as a salesman you get the real-time information about the market and you will have the ability to understand the mentality of the customer. Because when you are going to convince them, you will face a lot of rejection, like they will not accept your offer or they will not agree with you. But there is other aspect also, that if you have the strong communication skill, then you can turn them into your regular customer. So how can you make this magic to happen? So it is very important first to understand the concept of communication. So when we talk about communication, we talk about the communication that will produce the result. So the communication that we have been practicing was not the result oriented communication. We just were conveying the message, but now we have the pressure to achieve the result. You cannot just say your boss that at least I talked to the customer. You cannot say this, because he is looking for the result, and that's what you need to produce. So you have to learn the communication that can produce the result for you. So that's why it is very important to understand the method of improving your communication and method of learning the result oriented communication. So I want to tell you one method, that is art of storytelling. Because if you want to talk to a customer, then it is very important to develop a connection with them. If you are just going to give your information, that somehow definitely he will listen to you, but there is no connection. So that's why his response will be negative. Just think about a situation where you are an insurance agent and you want to sell your product or service to a person, but he is a stranger. So definitely what happened, that in insurance sector everyone take the insurance, but they prefer the agent who is known to him or who is somehow connected with that person. So it is not like you cannot sell insurance to other person. You need to follow the method. And what is this method? You will first build the connection with him. What is the traditional way of building the connection? That you will meet him again and again. But this is not going to work, or maybe this will take much time, or it may happen that potential customer may feel irritated. So that's why you need to understand that what is the real method of building a connection. So you need to have the art of storytelling. And what is this art of storytelling? That when you are interacting with the customer, at the same time you are getting the feedback also, and you are working on that feedback. Like when you are trying to talk to somebody, and if his response is negative by his facial expression, then you need to change the way. You need to tell a story, you need to tell some facts, some ideas, so that he can emit the positive response. And don't directly talk about your product, because the moment you will start talking about your product, he will not consider you his friend. He will not consider you a person who is accepted as an advisor. So that's why first of all you need to develop an image of a friend, develop an image of an expert. And once you get the success to do it, once you get the success in building your image as a friend, as a expert of this insurance industry, and definitely he would love to listen you. Or when he listen you, then that is the opportunity for you to convince that person. So what we learned here, that first of all you need to develop a rapport, you need to build a connection. In order to build a connection, you need to get the feedback. And what is this feedback? This is not a verbal feedback, this is the body language, this is the facial expression that is giving you the feedback. So don't turn blind eye. You need to read the facial expression of the potential customer, and if you find that his facial expression is not positive, then you need to try another method. You need to try a different method, so that at least least you can catch one point where you both are connected at this, because there are a lot of ideas, there are a lot of news, there are a lot of information. When you say this, people feel connected with it. So it is your responsibility to find out that connecting point. So once you get the success of getting that connecting point, then that person will be connected with you, and then build your image as a friend, build your image as an knowledgeable person of that particular service. So once you develop your image as a friend, as a expert, or as a knowledgeable person of that service, then he would pay his attention to listen to your offer. And if he will listen to your offer, and if he has the attention to your communication, then there are opportunities for you. So if you still feel that his facial expression or his body language is not like, you can start talking about your products that time. So you can skip talking about your product, and you can just try to build a rapport with him. You can try selling your product, you can try convincing about your product in next meeting. This is what happens, that in one, there are certain areas, there are certain situations where you cannot just push your product in just one meeting. So you need to be very careful if you are working as a salesperson. So it is very important to build the network, it is very important to build the connection. So once you have the connection, once you get the ability to build the connection with other person, then it will be easy for you to sell the product. It will be easy for you to get the result. So it will not be achieved in one day. When you go out, practice this technique again and again. It may happen that first time you will face the rejection, second time you will learn something about it, but after the practice of 1 month or 2 months, you will start getting the connecting point very easily, and you will develop a skill of convincing somebody. So definitely it is going to take a time, but you have to start it right now, because if you get a job, then you will start having pressure, and after facing one rejection to another, you will be frustrated. And that's why this is the right time to practice your communication. So how can you do the practice? So if you want to practice communication, or if you want to practice something to build a connection, then it is very important to record yourself. Because what happens, that when you record yourself, you can see the feedback yourself. And suppose that you are going to sell a product to somebody, so how can you approach him? So record all these conversations. So practice 1,000 times, practice more than 1,000 times, because the more you practice, the more you grow. And first see yourself, find out that what are the mistakes, what are the points that you need to overcome. Then if you are satisfied that now I'm getting the expected result, then you can share this video with your friends, and just try to ask for the feedback. And then after getting the feedback, you can work on that weakness, you can work on that problem, and this way you will be prepared when time will come. So it is not a wise decision that you will only work on your communication when you feel the need of communication. So this way communication cannot be learned in just one day. It is a matter of practice, it is a matter of putting effort and time. So that's why you can start your conversation by recording yourself every day. Set an agenda that what do you want to achieve through your communication. So one day you try to sell something, next day you try to tell a story, another day you try to build a rapport, or you try to be friends with somebody. And after completion of the video, just rewind it, see it again and again, and just try to understand that you are getting the result or not. If you want to sell something, then definitely you will be loud and clear that you were confident or not in your recorded video. And if you want to try to win friends, if you are trying to make friends, then you will understand that your approach was right or not. So this way you can get the honest feedback, and if you keep practicing these things, then it will help you to develop you as a good communicator, as an efficient communicator. So that's all for today. I hope that you like this video, and if you like the video, then hit the subscribe button, like and share.